Yeah. Let me drop exclusive game from my exclusive mind. You be out here chasing fame, I stay steady on my grind. Zero diamonds, zero.
Thank you for tapping into the Exclusive Minds podcast. Today we're going to be having an exclusive conversation with exclusive content from Exclusive Minds. I'm your host, Rook, and
Joe.
let's get right into it.
We're back. Episode 26. So we welcome.
What's good? How you doing?
Good. It's nice to be home, actually.
Yeah. It's kind of funny we have to kind of start this and be like, how you doing? Even though we were just with each other for like the past hour and a half.
I know, yeah, it's crazy. So where do we want to start? Do we want to start with the close since we, I think we got a plan now, right? We just spent
Give the people an update.
It's funny. I that's the first time I kind of participated in the taking pictures for the website, and it's a pain in the ass.
It is a big pain in the ass.
Now I kind of get it. So
yeah. I mean, was it worth the X amount to?
No, not for us. But hiring
in the future, right? I mean, that makes
hiring
sense.
a pro doesn't make sense. But so it was fun. I mean,
yeah, we have to still take like on body shots. That's like where the fun comes in because you don't have to like. It's not like more about putting it out. It's like, all right, I'm doing X, doing Y. You know, it's kind of out and about, and you get to have more fun doing it that way. Yeah, that's where I kind of like doing it.
Yep. So I think we've got. So here's the plan, right? And tell me if I'm wrong, but we're going to drop the hoodies and the sweatpants or the joggers.
Mm-hmm.
I guess you can't call them sweatpants.
Well,
anymore.
no, they are convertible. They
right.
can do both.
That's right. So they are sweatpants / joggers, which is really cool. Actually,
Mm-hmm.
they have drawstrings in the. In the cuffs and stuff, so which is kind of nice. But so we're going to drop all of those on this upcoming Friday, which I probably should know the date. I'm guessing that's May 6th.
That is May 6th, indeed.
Right.
Yes.
So we are going to drop on May 6th. Right?
Hopefully
we have
around
them in
noon.
hand. It's going to be an extremely limited quantity, so I'm assuming that they'll be gone by the weekend.
Yeah, high quality stuff. Kind of sorry to interrupt you, but like to kind of give a visual, we have two different styles of tops. We were just talking. The black colorway has more of like a tapered-esque feel or style, fit, whatever you want to call it, whereas the gray kind of fits more boxier,
Right.
I guess. So that's just kind of like a visual, and then the sweatpants both fit the same.
Yep. Casual fit, athletic fit. There's a million different terms, and it's tough to kind of get industry standards. But yeah, so they are two different types of hoodies. The jogger sweats are basically the same.
Same exact deal.
Either gray or black.
And the fit's true to size, I would say.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll have those up on Friday. Again, I think that they're going to get pretty much sold out very quickly, if not by Saturday or Sunday. And sometime between now and when we actually launch, we'll consider what we might be able to do for taking back orders. Again, because of supply concerns, I don't think we want to take your money because it's probably going to be a while before we might actually be able to get that next second run out. And since they're hoodies and we're entering summer, I think we've kind of decided that we don't want to really bring more in at this point, but we love them. So, I mean, I know that they'll probably be
coming back
our
for sure.
fall or, late summer. Our next drop, we will definitely either bring these back as is or just, modify the design.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like there should be some exclusivity for these ones. Like maybe on the next one, we tweak the design a little bit just so we could tell like, oh, that was a guy that bought, that exclusive window that we kind of put these up on May 6th. Like that was the May 6th time.
Yeah.
And then, so we'll see. But we definitely like the quality. The quality is definitely there. So when you guys see them, you'll see them. The joggers are, like Joe said, very limited. And the hoodies are a little bit more, what would that word be? Vast, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
For the public. I don't know. But yeah, that's basically the update on that. And then we have a couple more surprises down the pipeline, I'd say.
Yeah, I mean, let's talk about it. I mean, let's not hide behind the curtain here. So, so we're going to get these hoodies done this next upcoming weekend. And then shortly thereafter, we're going to follow it up with some new tees and some mesh gym shorts.
Yes.
And we're working through the details of that, but that'll obviously be for the summer release and more appropriate weather-wise. But Those shouldn't take too long after, so probably middle of May, later May, we'll have those fully up on the website, and that'll be our focus, I think, through the summer time frame. And again, we're doing some really cool things, especially on the tees with some color change designs. So it's going to be kind of interesting. I'm looking forward to those. But yeah, so they'll follow shortly after. But we're going to definitely get these hoodies out the door. You'll probably see a reflection in change of price on shipping. We're still kind of working through the details of that. Unfortunately, I think as everybody is well aware, right, everything is just going through the roof on expense-wise, and shipping is no different. So I think the way it was set up right now is if you bought more than $100, you got free shipping. If you bought less, it was $7.95 for shipping. And I am going to be completely honest with everybody on this thing. When we ship a hoodie
we're losing money.
At $7.95, we're losing money. Believe it or not. And you can check it. Go to the go to the post office, and you'll be shocked at what it costs to ship shit these days. It's ridiculous.
$7.95. That's actually we're definitely on the lower end. That's not even that bad. Like I see some people that are charging an arm and a leg for shipping, and we're obviously not in the business to like try to rob people blind, and you know, we're going to just charge what makes sense. We're going to charge like what we think's a fair amount. We're not going to be like, all right, you know, $1,000 for shipping.
Yeah, so I mean, I think the other reason why we wanted to kind of separate the tees and the hoodies is because obviously it costs a lot more to ship a hoodie, which is significantly heavier in weight. So what we'll probably do is jack the price. It'll seem like we're jacking the price, but I assure you we're really not. But we'll raise the price on shipping for the hoodies and the sweatpants, and then when we actually launch the gym shorts and the tees, we'll back it down to something that's more appropriate for that weight class. So it's a little bit of a moving picture. I mean, obviously, we're a small company, so we don't have a system that's dynamic based on what you specifically order.
And location.
We might be able to do that. I have to look into it. But again, I think it's just easier to do it this way. So you'll see that. We'll also have an option for local pickup. I know a large percentage of our audience is definitely local to us, which just makes sense. So to save on the shipping for everybody who is close by in close proximity, we'll figure something out there as well to just, hand deliver or whatever it might be. So that's it. That's kind of the rundown. Did I miss anything?
No, that was good. I mean, we just gave that nice little plug. So if this doesn't convince you to buy some new stuff, you're missing out, man.
Yeah. And we took pictures, and we also have just again a little bit of hints. I don't know where we're going to go exactly with this, but we had two what I'll call zip-up hoodies.
Yeah, no, they
that
definitely
were
zip-ups.
tests.
Zippers
So these are absolutely unique, right? They're one-offs, and we're going to use those for contests. I think one will just be a social media associated contest, so probably on Instagram, and like the podcast, like the Instagram site for exclusive minds, like Facebook, that kind of stuff. Share it with your friends. The whole traditional social media dynamic.
Yeah.
And then the other one is if we actually decide to take pre-orders, if we sell out on the hoodies and we're going to try and ship some of those, maybe we'll offer one of these up to one of the people who commits to a pre-order.
I mean, even the pre-order is not that bad, because realistically our timeline for a pre-order, what would you say? About a month or so? Give or take?
Just the way it's been going.
Yeah, it's kind of unpredictable, right?
I really don't want to say.
There's still some businesses that take pre-orders and they're kind of out for 2 months, and me and Joe both firmly don't believe in that type of thing. I mean, I feel like ethically, how do you prepare for what you're going to want to wear in 2 months, right?
Yeah.
Like, if you order a hoodie now, 2 months from now, come June or whatever, you're going to be, sweating, and it's going to be a whole mess. So
yeah, so I mean, we'll have to. We're gonna. That's one of the things we still have to figure out. But so we'll have a social media contest for sure. So I think Dave, you'll get that up sometime soon. Sorry, Rook. Excuse me.
No, it's all good. I mean, I think we're good on the social media plug. We did a good call to action there. That was well.
Yeah.
Well off there.
Yeah. So make sure you like, subscribe.
That's the end of the podcast too, by the way.
Yeah, we're not done. We still got some time to kill.
Let's see what topics. Do you have any topics this week? How was everything?
Well, so I mean, I guess the big topic is Elon Musk and Twitter, right? So I know that last time we were on the podcast, I said, nah, he isn't really gonna,
No, he pulled the the trig.
He sure did.
No, that was crazy.
Oh my God, this guy is just classic. I
He
love
said
him.
he was going to buy Coca-Cola and bring cocaine back into Coke.
I saw
so,
that. Yeah, oh my God! And then did you see he just torched all the liberals with the
like a picture.
Yeah.
I saw that.
the guy is just
He's a menace, man. But I think the overarching thing we all talk about is him promoting free speech, and that's obviously extremely important. And you could see all the people getting pressed about that, and it kind of I don't know what you could say. I guess, like as you said, opens the curtains as to who's trying to hide that side of themselves or why they're trying to do that. You could kind of see like a deeper connection or deeper meaning behind why they're trying to do that. But I saw another thing too, kind of pertaining to that. It was someone tweeted at him and was like, hey, you should look into Forbes and the New York Times because they have like 20 million followers apiece. But when they post something, they only get like 20 retweets.
Oh, I saw that.
Yeah.
That was one of the things that someone posted and said you got to fix the algorithm.
Yeah, for the bots.
Because there's all these I guess people just like pages and they're not either not real or it's just artificially inflated, and those were the examples they gave, and it was kind of crazy because they said that guys who have like literally a tenth of the followers
I could post a tweet
get
and get
more
than
retweets than some of these that have supposedly millions of followers.
Like we're talking about 20 million people across any platform, whether
That's
even
a lot.
Even TikTok, you could have 20 million followers, and that is life-changing, substantial amount of pull. You're expected to get at least bare minimum 10,000, right? At the minimum for 20 million people, right?
Yeah.
And they're getting a fraction of that, exactly what Joe said. So it's interesting to see the things kind of coming out of this whole fiasco and kind of unfold, because that was something I never really paid attention to until he kind of pointed it out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's definitely cool to kind of see that and kind of expose almost these people for that fake accounts or whatever. But yeah, I don't know. What else do I have? Oh, you know Twitch, right? Twitch, the streaming service. I saw this and I kind of want to touch on it quickly because it's kind of like more on my end of things. So Twitch is a streaming service that we talked about it before. You can go on there, you can live stream. If you're playing a game, your friends could watch, random people could find you. It's like a YouTube, but live. They just got bought out by Amazon a couple years back. However, they had some changes to Twitch's monetization structure. This is a direct quote that could be implementing soon as this summer. The people say the Twitch staff is considering paring back the revenue cut of a channel subscription gained at the top of the echelon of streamers, the so-called partnership program. So basically the partnership program is if you have X amount of followers, you're tied into that to like a deal with them, and you could get more money basically. So if you're an affiliate, you get like, I think it's like a 50-50 split between you and Twitch. But if you're what's that called? The partner, you get 70% and Twitch only gets 30%.
Right.
Okay.
It's kind of the Apple model right there.
Yeah.
So,
So another option they're creating is they're trying to make those top creators go back down to the 50% mark. So they're digging into their pockets now of like, hey, we're going to take more of your money, but while we're doing that, we're encouraging people to run more ads. So they're kind of screwing not only the creators over, but the viewers as well. Because now you're going to be running more ads, so you're going to be making up for that 20% difference, but at the same time, you're getting screwed over there. And a lot of people were kind of upset about this, and it doesn't really make sense why they would do that. Yeah, like it's a money thing, right? Like it's a great, like Mr. Krabs. It's like a great thing that you could be able to play video games.
There's a reference. Holy mackerel!
That's what I thought you were doing. The money.
No, I wasn't actually, but now I get it. Right?
What's it called? So like being able to play video games, that's the dream job, right? You would literally have to pry me off of my office setup to stop me. That's like an infinite money glitch, right? You turn on your thing, you're able to make a couple $1,000s a day. So where was I going with this? They're just trying to like basically impose on this. Like, yeah, it's the dream job, but they're still working hard, right? They're still doing 8-hour plus streams. Like this guy Timmy, he's doing a 1-year stream. He's leaving his stream on for an entire year. The more people sub, the more his timer goes up. So he has a 1-year cap on it, and he's been live for like some 15 days or something like that. He'll go to sleep, he leaves his stream on. He wakes up, he has his stream on.
That's crazy.
Dude, you have to watch it. He's still live. I could guarantee you if I pulled it up, he's still live. That's what they're doing. But the fact that, that they're implementing this is, I don't know. I feel like it's...
So, I mean, in fairness, right? I mean, look, I'm no fan of Amazon, and I'm sure this is a money grab, and, I think YouTube's already kind of gone through this, right? I mean, they sort of axed a lot of revenue stream potential or changed the models, right? So it's common in the industry. But the one thing that we don't know, and I'm just playing devil's advocate. I have no insight, so I'm just guessing. I mean, the one thing Amazon could say is that the rate that they're getting paid for the ads has decreased, right? Maybe companies are more sensitive to the fact that they're not getting a return on investment for their ads, so they're either not paying as much for the ads anymore, or they're scaling back and there's just not as much ad ability. So you just don't know, right? It's you don't know what's going on the other end of it too. I mean, there's probably a lot less money flowing around.
Yeah.
Or, I mean, think of us, right? If we wanted to start advertising social, on the internet for the clothing brand, there are a shit ton of options, right? So it's not.
Right. So that's, I guess, my counter argument, right? Like you would say, Twitch, why are you doing this? Like you have YouTube Live on the come up. Like a lot of people from Twitch are now switching over to YouTube because of stuff like this or getting banned. It's less, less restrictions, I guess you could say. But then at the same time, Twitch was that pioneer for this live streaming community. So it's like you could go to Twitch that has significantly more viewers, and you probably I think it's like kind of oversaturated now. I mean, it's a lot harder for like new guys to kind of get found on there.
Oh God, yeah. Well, we're finding that out with this podcast,
exactly.
right? It's
for these places that have a bigger growth or a bigger audience, just as many people as there is audience are coming in. So are content creators. Yep. So if you go to like somewhere like YouTube that might not have that huge base for live, live streams or concurrent viewers, you better have a better chance of growing on there. Just like Facebook Gaming, I heard, was coming up like with kind of like their own platform.
Yeah, sure. I mean, they're all going to chase whatever they think's the hottest topic.
It'll be interesting to see how this all unfolds. I mean, you have some of the top guys on there threatening to leave their company because if you're taking 20% extra, it's that affects a lot. You know what I mean? So
yeah, and I mean, I'm sure there's a negotiation strategy for some of those big bloggers or vloggers, right there. There'll be some middle ground, I'm sure, behind the scenes deals for some of the bigger ones. But I'm sure it's probably just to weed out some of the ones that are still in this upper echelon program that really aren't delivering on both ends. So who knows? I mean, I'm not surprised. I mean, it's just kind of the nature of this whole streaming business. But yeah, I mean, you kind of mentioned, right, as a newbie into this space or any of these spaces, it is just super, super hard, right? And I think a lot of people are still brainwashed into thinking they can just flick the switch and make a career out of this. And let me tell you, unless you got some super deal gimmick, right, you are not making a living.
So there's a couple factors and a couple points that you brought up there. Like, I mean, I feel like to be different, that's a huge part of it. You can't just come in here like everyone else and say, oh, I mean, if I were to stream or kind of have this mentality of like, I'm too good for that, or if I were to do it, I would immediately be successful. Because oftentimes, unless you have a pre-existing platform, that's not the case. You're going to have to start from the bottom. You're going to have to make your content different. You're going to have to be consistent, and you're going to just be like kind of put in the pool with everyone else until you eventually start to see yourself propelled to the top, But yeah, I don't know. I think that's like a big thing. A lot of people, it's almost, I don't know if it's fear or if it's them thinking they're too like above, but like you often hear people say that they have like a goal or a dream, but the reason they didn't do it is because I guess I could take your take on this, is because, this is not in place or this is not aligned up. It's kind of like the philosopher Sartre. Anyway, his whole thing is pushing responsibility or, kind of, whatever. But yeah, like, what do you think about people kind of pushing off blame or kind of postponing something because they're kind of scared of failure? Or do you think it's because they genuinely feel that way? Or do you think it's a mix of both?
Well, I mean, there's a human reaction to, I'll call it pain, but pain, failure, whatever
Humility.
it might be, right? People, you know, um, it's an avoidance syndrome, right? So I think it's just kind of wired into most of our DNA that we want to avoid, pain or discomfort or anxiety or any of these things, right? You just take the path of least resistance. So, yeah, I mean, leap of faith and that kind of stuff is it's a rare breed, and they're wired differently. I mean, you can see it in all spectrums, right? The one that stands out to me is that guy who does the rock climbing, right?
The guy that was on Joe Rogan a couple times.
Yeah.
Okay.
God, I'm trying to think of his name.
I don't know his name either.
Yeah, but I mean, he did the movie, right? And that's like that guy's just wired differently, right? I mean, and that's there's 99.99% of the world that just wouldn't even attempt to do some of that crap, right? So it's also how you're wired.
Yeah, I mean, if you are fortunate enough in this world to be able to find something that you're
Alex Honnold, sorry, that's
his name.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That you're fortunate enough to be able to find what you do, or find, I guess, A, something that you're passionate about, and B, passionate that thing that you're passionate about, but able to monetize that and turn that into a full-time business.
And you really you hit on something there, right? So if you're doing like streaming, or you're doing podcasting and stuff like that, or really anything, if you can do something that you actually deep down like and enjoy doing, it's a lot easier, right?
Yeah.
I mean, let's face facts, right? This podcast is just for fun, right? And we're kind of doing it as an extension of the clothes, but it's something we talked about wanting to do, right? So we wanted to do this, and it was really never about the audience or making money on it. If it happened, great, but it was just more about the experience and wanting to do it, right? So we kind of enjoy doing this, right? I mean, we're 26 episodes in, and quite frankly, we haven't made a nickel on this whole thing, right? We've actually spent money, with equipment and time and effort, and it's got nothing to do with that. It's just enjoyment. So if you can jump into something that is that, and then it progresses into, a money making or a career, God, that's the absolute perfect storm.
No,
right?
Absolutely. And, there's
and that's
saying,
rare, right? I mean, most people, you're kind of going through this now coming out of college, right? You're looking for a job, and the reality is, right, you're probably going to end up landing in a job that really isn't, it wasn't, you didn't wake up and say, hey, I want to go work for, XYZ Corporation doing marketing, right? It just, you don't know where it's going to go, right? It's super rare that you actually land in something that is truly a passion.
That aligns. I mean, there's the saying, do what you love and you'll never work a day in your life, and that just speaks volumes.
And in fairness, right, I mean, quite a few people end up falling into something and then actually finding that passion for it, right? So it's not like it's never going to happen. It's just when you go in, it's super rare that you actually can live behind that passion.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, I wrote down something here that I guess you get that, like we talked about a few episodes back, of that late night motivation, you know what I mean? And I just kind of jot down like my thoughts at the time.
Yeah, it's good.
And I feel like, I could say this on here because we're kind of on that motivational tip right now. So basically, I wrote, I think it is important for people to start taking accountability and start using that to build their mindset. In the most basic form, an example of this would be, let's say you're playing a sport like basketball. If you're playing basketball and you're a good basketball player on a team and you have two other people on those teams with you, rather than blame other teammates for that loss, it kind of puts you at a cap. Rather than that, you can't go beyond that point. So if you're limiting your mindset and you have a shift in your mindset of, all right, rather than saying, wow, we only lost because of them two, regardless of how true that statement might be, if you start taking accountability of, all right, rather than me blaming other people because of how easy that could be, I have to say, all right, if I know that these two people on my team aren't the best, I could position it differently.
You're basically describing a leader versus
a
role player.
Sure, right.
Right? I mean, that's you could be the best player or role player or positional player. This extends from sports into corporate America, right? I mean, you can be a rock star salesperson, but if you do exactly, what you described there, where you're blaming others if something doesn't go right, or you're not building up others around you, then you're not a leader, right? You still could be a great salesperson and still have value. But that's the delta right there between just being kind of a person and being a leader. Right?
Yeah, and being also like a
perfect
good
description right
a
there.
good like strategist of like if these people might not be just going back to that example of basketball. I don't know why I thought of that. But like let's say, this person might be beneficial because they are good at shooting. I'll have them position over here, just kind of like moving this giant life chessboard around. And if you make that switch in your mind, it'll make you kind of feel better about yourself as well, because oftentimes, like I said earlier, you're blaming someone. Oh, this person did this. Like how often are you going to be able to, play basketball with god tier players that are going to be, always on point? It's oftentimes random, or in the way of life, you're going to be kind of put in these situations where you just kind of have to adapt and be almost like, free flowing. Like, what's his name? Bruce Lee said, you have to be like water. You know? But yeah, no, that's basically it for my my motivational rant. I have another one on here, but it's off topic.
No, that's cool. So, sorry. You ever have like one of those, like, wait, you're about to say something, you just totally lost my train of thought.
No,
like,
all good,
what
man.
the hell just happened? you can't do that on a podcast, right? I guess we could have edited it out, but I'm like, yeah, I just, whoa.
We gotta start taking clips from this, man, and putting it on that little segment.
And I can't blame it on the coffee because I've already had 2 cups, so my caffeine level and my dopamine should be like, in the right place. But wow.
No, for sure. You went, what's it called? You were traveling this week, weren't you?
I was in Chicago and Detroit.
Were they what you expected last time you went there? Was it what you imagined, or what? Did you have good experience, bad experience?
Yeah, it was kind of a low key trip. So I mean, I kind of wandered around the suburbs of Chicago and had some meetings and stuff like that. Typical travel time. I mean, it is refreshing to no longer have the mask mandates really anywhere, right? Chicago was probably one of those last holdout cities that was still mandating masks in restaurants and some other places. So yeah, it was just kind of refreshing just to be out and about and
at least you
living
were
life.
In the suburbs, you said, because in Southside Chicago.
Yeah, I don't. It's not that I'm trying to avoid downtown Chicago when I'm traveling, but most of my activities and businesses are outside the city, so I don't have to go downtown. And it's one of the cities that I'm not losing sleep over the fact that I don't have to go downtown. So.
Do you know what they used to call Chicago back a couple of years ago?
No, I don't.
They used to call it Chirac.
Oh yeah, well, it probably hasn't changed much. I'm sure it's still the same.
So there you go. More you know.
Yeah, I mean, any of the major metros have their issues,
Chief
right?
Keef.
So
yeah.
should we? Oh, we should do crypto update, right?
Oh God.
Not, I mean, look, we
tanking.
kind of started and picked those crypto coins, a long time ago. And
let's do
we
that.
haven't actually really done much of an update on those. And the funny thing is, I went and looked at my Decentraland, and now I remember why we haven't really talked about it much because.
Yes, so we can give a little update real quick. So when we first initially did the show, I think we both were on Decentraland, right? We both kind of picked that, and then I switched over to Ethereum halfway through when, or I switched to something. I bought something, and I switched over. So Ethereum, when I bought it, I put, I think, $200 in. It is now currently at 144. I mean, the whole market's, tanking. I don't know if I could say this for, like traditional stocks. Like I don't know if any of the S&P 500s or whatever they're doing.
Not like crypto, but it's definitely down.
It's super volatile. I mean, the only good thing to come out of crypto within the past couple weeks is something called ApeCoin that I told you about with the Bored Ape Yacht Club NFT project.
Yeah. This
is Chinese for most people, and sorry if you're listening to this and getting bored, but basically they came out with this NFT group put out a what's that called? Crypto. And it came out it was like $7, and over the past week, it shot up to $27.79.
Are you kidding me?
No, I swear to God.
Did you buy in on that?
I didn't. No. And then it went down to now it's only at $21.12.
Still,
but it's still up. And they made an announcement recently saying that I think they're doing like some sort of giveaway or something where people are buying into one of their apes or whatever, and then they're freezing an account, and they're not doing anything with the circulating supply for like a year or something like that. I mean, these people the overarching message that they're trying to do Shout out to Yugi Labs. They're very smart in what they're trying to do because they're trying to make it just not like a quick money grab because there's a lot behind it. I remember I told you about their their market like predictions. They said they were trying to raise raise like $150 million or something like that. So there's a lot of money and a lot of strong individuals behind this project. So they can't just do like a rug and take everything from everybody. Like this is one of the top prestigious, I guess you could say NFT blue chip projects they call it. So to see it at 21 from $7 a few weeks back is pretty impressive.
Oh my God! I swear to Christ, I just
What was your
so Decentraland
Yeah.
is down to $1.59, and I bought in it like $3.50. So I have lost half of my money.
So it's basically like you taking $100 bill, right?
Yeah, and tearing it in half
Yeah.
and burning half of it. So, obviously I'm not a big fan of crypto. I do know that Bitcoin, right? So the only one I even look at anymore is Bitcoin. I literally just kind of zone out on all the other ones. I mean, I used to look, obviously, when we were doing this exercise at the hundreds and hundreds of other Bitcoins just to kind of just get a feel for it. But I am absolutely convinced at this point that if I was doing crypto with any seriousness, it would only be Bitcoin. And Bitcoin, I think, is being artificially held up by the media, to be honest with you. I mean, it's still at 40 grand, give or take.
Yeah.
It kind of fluctuates between like 38 and 42. And every time it starts to dip, I think the media comes in and tries to rally it. If you ask me, I mean, it just seems like it's being artificially elevated by
you've said that before, and I definitely I see where you're coming from because when the Ukraine and the Russia war was just underway, I wasn't really too familiar on what was going on with the Bitcoin stuff. Like even now, like the whole market's kind of down. But you were saying that even back when that was happening.
Yeah.
I don't know, when you look at these projects and you look at not even the projects but the coins themselves, like Bitcoin and Ethereum, they're basically like a safe bet every time. I mean, that's kind of like the first two that everyone, even if you don't know what's going on with crypto, like you're going to invest in. The other ones, it's more or less like we always talk, it's kind of like the casino. You're just going there and just hoping and believing in these projects to go up. I mean, my quant that I invested in initially, it was going up. It went from, 300 to 420, and then from 420 it shot down to $70, and then it went back up last month to 150, and then now it's sitting at 93. So
it's like a roller coaster.
Exactly, you know what I mean? So it's just picking and choosing your battles, and you don't want to be that guy that's like, all right, I'm going to sell at 150 and then now buy at 98, but then instead of going down to 98 it goes up to all the way to 300, and it's like a lose-lose, and you're just ripping money. So it's one of those things where we're not financial advisors for one, but you just invest in slowly over time, and you just kind of do that. You're kind of better almost being in a specific you have like a system rather than trying to time the dips and everything like that, unless you're like a trader and familiar with TraderView.
Yeah. I mean, it is what it is. I don't know. I'm kind of over it already. It's only been a couple months, and I'm just like, it's playing out exactly like I thought it would. So
I think it'll go up, and then it's going to nuke. That's usually how it goes in the summertime. I think spring.
Well, I mean, it's now at the point where there's probably so many people that are in it that have lost money that they're going to pretty much
double down,
sell on any bounce. Now, I don't know if they're going to double down. I mean, I guess that's always a strategy as well, but I think it's probably more likely that if any of this stuff starts to bounce or starts to pop, they're going to see people just bailing left and right. And that's probably the reason. Maybe that's the reason why it hasn't been moving northbound, because every time it spikes, people just say, "I'm going to get the hell out and just take my couple bucks that I may have just got back." And
no, yeah, for sure. I mean, it's constantly changing every single day, and it's so inconsistent that you can make a living doing the crypto trading, but it's very inconsistent. I mean, at least from like a novice perspective, you could be an expert and someone that knows how to read these charts or have some sort of insider knowledge, but I don't know. For me personally, it's so up and down. I don't know. I almost lost a lot of money with another coin called Strong, dude. This thing, I don't even want to get into it, dude. It literally was at like $500 a coin, and now it's at $21.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, I'll give you credit. At least you're willing to dip your toe in this pool. I just, God.
Sorry, it was at $1,100, not $500.
1,100 now. It's at 22.
That's the chart.
Oh, look at that chart. That's like Mount Everest on. Oh yeah, that's bad.
That's not good, right?
No, that's not a chart you want to see in the stock market, right? You want to be climbing. Yeah. Oh, man. I don't know, man. I just think there's so many people that have just taken a bath on that whole thing.
No, yeah, for sure. We were having a little conversation downstairs with Aunt E about kind of, your first year out of college, kind of having to take that bite the bullet, I guess, mentality, especially like we were talking about, like getting some jobs out of college, like, you're not going to get what you want right away, but you just kind of have to ride that wave. Like, isn't that kind of, I don't know. I never really understood that. Like, you should be getting paid, like, I guess, like what everyone else is, even though you're kind of like an entry level person. Like, you're going to eventually rock out and be that. I mean, it makes sense though. I don't know. I have 50-50. Like, I don't mean to backpedal, but I feel like if you're...
So I'm not sure I follow you. So you're saying that you think you should be paid what someone who's been doing it for 10 or 15 years is
the industry standard. I think it should be in gaps of like not 10 to 15 years. Like if you're obviously like someone that has a huge amount of progress, I get that. But like I feel like it's so... They're on the lower end of, I guess what you could say, like it gives you a... like a range, and that always 9 times out of 10 you're on the bottom of that range regardless.
Yeah,
I don't know, man. I feel like that's cap.
Can we go back to your not making excuses or accountability? I mean,
that's all out the window.
So look, I mean, the bottom line is, right, when you get started, you are on the low end of the totem pole, right? You earn your cred, and then at that point, right, then you start to build and gain options, and it's when you start to get that skill, that your options start to expand, and that's where you start to make the money, right? Because then...
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I guess it's just the...
Dude, don't do that. It makes me angry. Just don't... It's almost like entitled. I'm like, what?
No, man.
Come on.
Like, so listen, right? So listen.
Seriously, you look. We'll play this back, and you'll be like, holy shit, I do sound like I
get that. You should just be getting more, I guess, than what they're paying. I guess I should rephrase the argument to bigger corporations underbidding for entry level positions. Rather than getting paid what everyone else is
I'm so
paying.
far removed from that. I don't know. I mean, I hear some of the numbers that, like, some of the numbers I'm hearing that people are getting paid out of college, right? And I'm like, I have to think back to my time, and it's like, wow, that's some serious money. But in this day and age, it's not.
You know how much gas is right now, man?
Yeah, you know what? That was the one thing I filled up in Chicago, the rental car, and it was $4.98.
Yeah, exactly.
I was like, what? God bless electric cars.
Yeah.
So I mean, look.
So I guess that should be. I guess I could see where you're coming from. I guess I shouldn't say like I shouldn't be getting paid as much as a guy with 10 plus experience, but like the entry level position shouldn't be getting underbid or taken advantage of just because you're.
So you
fresh
also
out
have
of college.
to keep in mind, right? So when you're coming in as an entry level position, right, the company has to invest time and resources in kind of training you and getting you up to speed. So there's a cost associated with them kind of getting you to. Yeah. Being a productive member of their society. So, so I mean, look, that's just the way the world works, right? You are going to start and have to work your way up. Some people will do it quicker than others.
I feel like, but that's with like any job though. You're going to have to.
Yeah, well, I don't know. That's the world we live in, right?
Yeah, I guess so. I want to get my friend Mike Toscani on here. I want him to get on because yesterday I found someone that thinks LeBron James is better than Michael Jordan, and I want him to come on here so bad. And as soon as this happened, bro, I was like, I need you on.
He
and
thinks
let me know
that LeBron James is better than Michael Jordan.
He said that LeBron James would dunk over Michael Jordan.
Oh, God. Okay. Yeah, sure. I mean, okay.
He said if he was playing with him nowadays, he's getting torched. I mean, to be fair, I can't really give him the exact quote. I mean, he might have said something along those lines, but it was funny. This kid's he's definitely top 5 funny people I've ever met. So,
get him on here. God.
He's funny, man.
Yeah, I don't even know how to argue. I mean, it's just it's almost like it's almost like religion, right? I mean, at the end, I mean, serious or politics. It's like you're either right or left, right? There's no middle ground. I mean, so look, I don't like LeBron James. I don't like him. Period. Like, and as a player or anything. So look, you're not going to ever convince me that Michael Jordan was much better. So it is what it is.
Where do you put Kobe in your list there between them two?
Ooh, I'm trying to think. So we've had this. Kobe's probably better than LeBron.
You think? You're crazy. I don't know. I mean, Kobe's a demon.
I do.
Yeah, he's a fantastic guy. His mentality was fantastic.
Kobe's better. Kobe's better. Everybody's better than LeBron. So that's beside the point.
Did
LeBron's
you see,
like 6 all time.
We're in Philly or outside of Philly. Did you see who we got in the draft for the Eagles? I don't know if you were paying attention.
I did. I don't pay too much attention to it. Yeah, I don't even know.
Neither do I.
Well,
so,
they traded for the wide receiver from
yes.
Tennessee, who's super good, right?
Super good. And, I mean, Philadelphia just kind of has a bad rap with their back office.
Yeah,
they kind of always bet on the underdog, and that's typically – I mean, don't get me wrong, I love an underdog story. I love doing it, but they're always betting on the guys that are injured in college that performed well, but they were injured, so they couldn't play to their max potential, and they might not perform the best coming out of college. And, that's kind of like their thing, right? They got this wide receiver, but a few years back we missed what's that guy's name? McCaff. We did a trade for someone else and missed that whole thing. So they're not the best. And then what else happened in Philly news? The Sixers beat Toronto game.
Yeah, but then Joel Embiid broke his head.
Yeah, his left
orbital bone or something
like that. So
he's pretty much out.
We're going against Miami, which consists of our former member of the Sixers, Jimmy Butler, and that guy, he's ruthless. So I don't know how that's gonna.
Well, we'll find out if Harden is all he's cracked up to be now, since he's the primary focus of the Sixers. But
I saw this thing. It was it was like Tiger Woods got into a accident, almost died, got his hip replaced, all this stuff, and Ben Simmons is still not playing for the Nets.
Yeah, Ben Simmons. That's.
It was funny though. I don't know the exact details for the Tiger
mental
Woods thing,
illness is a real issue, and
okay, all right,
we're
relax,
not medical
buddy.
doctors, and we're not. But yeah, come on, that guy. Grade A.
What we were talking about the golf stuff. That guy ended up winning again. That you said was kind of like who ended up winning. I forget what we were talking about, a conversation, and we're like, yeah, he hasn't won too much, or he's kind of been off his hot streak. But then he ended up winning, I thought, or I might have had that story confused. What do they call that? Grand Masters, or what do they call it? The Masters?
The Masters?
Yeah, the guy.
Yeah, no, well,
I'm trying to think about the podcast. What happened? It was like we just talked about it, and then he ended up winning. We're like, oh yeah, he was super hot at one point, and then he kind of fell off. Or
it wasn't the Masters. I mean, I think Jordan Spieth might have just won something. So there's a couple of golfers that have.
I saw it and I remembered it, and after listening back, I was like,
they go to the top of the mountain and then they fall very quickly. I mean, anytime you're in the individual sport where, you got to just prove it. It's tough.
No, for sure. There's a huge Apex event happening right now. I don't know. We talk about it with Titanfall. $1 million prize pool.
Titanfall? Seriously?
The Apex. The makers of Titanfall.
Oh, about to say, because isn't that like one of those multiplayer games that's just riddled with...
it's kind of like a dead game.
Yeah, because there's so many hacks and cheats and stuff that completely ruined it.
Yeah, they haven't really put anything out with it. I mean, Titanfall 2 came out. God, no.
I am just all about Elden Ring, and I'm very close to throwing my controller through the goddamn television. What a game, man! Literally, I mean, it's oh god, last night I had a bunch of they call it runes, right? I had a bunch of shit that I was carrying around that I shouldn't have been, and I got killed, and then I got killed going back and lost it all, and I just was about to lose my shit. It's such a frustrating game.
Oh, I have a rant real quick. Here, sorry for cutting you off. Completely changing tier.
Yeah,
you're going to agree with
me.
Yeah, sorry.
Rag on my Elden Ring.
Yeah, no, I never played Elden Ring or the Dark Souls game, so it's hard for me to even you're talking about runes. I'm thinking rupees, coins. I don't know what's going on.
It's like that. It's like cash. It's like whatever it is, the
currency.
Yes.
Bitcoin. Anyway, no. So I was at Westchester, where I go to school, and there is like a three-way intersection. Okay, you know understand driving. You understand how it works. There's a girl coming this way. Let's call it north. I'm coming south, and then there's a guy west, right? And she's trying to make a turn into that west lot. So she's trying to do one of these, but I'm coming. So she was kind of scared, but we're in a school zone, so I can't go that fast. I'm going 15 miles an hour, 20 miles an hour. I don't want to cut her off. I wave her along. Go ahead. I'm not in a rush. You know, I'm on the phone talking to someone. Go ahead. I'm not in a rush. So she's just sitting there nervous. Like, she's looking at me. Her eyes are getting bigger. She doesn't know what the hell's going on. And she just throws her hands up. She's like, dude, what? She's like this. And I just
so
kept
you
driving.
were trying to do the right thing,
I'm
and
being
she's flipping out about
exactly.
it.
So you try to be the best. And, you know, there's just like so many, I guess, like if we had like a documentary of like all the crazy people that I encounter on the roads, dude, we would literally have like a 3-hour-long movie.
Oh, well, I mean, there are. I mean, you just go on YouTube and there's
I love seeing this
dash cam stuff. And
there's a guy.
I like the ones where the dudes like road rage and then like drive on the medians and stuff, and then they either getting caught they either get caught by the cops or they crash, and it's like, yeah, you
deserve that.
You kind of chuckle.
They did like another thing. It's in the parking garage, or it's in the parking lot. The guy, he goes around and he like he's called the cart narc. So like after you're done at Wawa or Walmart rather, and you don't put your cart away, you just leave it in the spot. He'll come up to you and be like, hey, you have to put this back, but he'll say an annoying voice. He'll call you like lazy bones and just get under people's skin basically. But he'll drag this out for like 10 minutes to where people are like throwing drinks on him and stuff. It's so funny.
That is crazy. I've seen some of those, things where they do crazy stuff to people in Walmarts, and I'm like, man, these guys have some
balls, bro.
Yeah,
they push their buttons so bad, like they're like, stop.
Like, and I always wonder, like, because I know there has to be videos, and I'm assuming they must have to get these people to sign releases or something. I mean,
I don't get it.
Because some of these people must just go freaking crazy. I mean, you run into people that just, oh man. So there's stuff that is even worse than what they're showing.
Yeah, I know. I mean, like, I guess, like, to your point, like, how do they get away with it? Because, like, if you go to, like, your lawyer and be like, hey, I didn't give this guy consent, you know what I'm saying?
I don't know. I mean, I'm assuming there must be some of that because, I mean,
I love seeing those videos. I hate people that, I don't know. There's just some people that take their job way too serious. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh God, leave me alone.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, I hear you.
I don't know, man. I think my topics have exhausted, dude. I mean, I was just really super excited about our close. Honestly, that's kind of like all I was thinking.
Well,
about
that was
all
our
week.
big thing this whole week, so I'm not surprised that we kind of hit the wall with topics.
Yeah.
But it was just I don't know. I was kind of like scrolling through the web as we're doing the podcast to try and find talking points. Like Doctor Strange is coming out, right? So
yeah, I will see that.
I didn't see Morbius. I was going to go. It was funny. That was one of the things I was going to do when I was in Chicago. I was going to go see Morbius, but I guess it's already sort of out of theaters. So
no way.
They literally had like a showing that was like 8:30 and then 10 o'clock or 10:30 at night, and that was the only two. And I was like, I ain't going to go to them. I just
that's like
the movies don't last long.
No.
I mean, literally, it's like a 2 or 3 week window, and then it's like out of theaters.
I thought Batman had a pretty good run though, because like
how
big
Batman's
it is.
already up on HBO Max.
So right. I think it's in both though. I could be wrong about that.
It is, but I mean, still, most people.
Yeah.
As soon as it hits the pay services, people share.
Passwords. Did we talk about Netflix's drop? Last week, I completely forgot. Netflix is
I think we mentioned that the price crashed because like that was one of Elon Musk's pile-ons, right? I mean, he called them Wokotopia, and then they crashed a little bit, and I think they also crashed because people were worried about sharing the password, right?
Yeah, but
they're going to fix that, which is kind of interesting.
If they do that, there's going to be a huge problem. I feel like that's why their things are going to crash because
that's going to. I mean, you would think that that's going to kill subscriptions because I'm sure that there are a lot of people that are sharing.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm not mistaken, you could have up to 5 accounts on a Netflix or 3 accounts, something like that. So, if you're splitting that between 3 people, it makes that monthly subscription not as something digestible. I mean, it's like $11 a month or $15. Split that between a couple guys or a couple girls, whatever, and you're at I don't know, $3 a month opposed to that $10 to $15, whatever it is.
Yeah, I mean it sounds like a nightmare to me. I mean,
Yeah, I don't know. Like we always talk
Like they're
about.
gonna. I mean, I guess they're gonna track it to your IP address, right? So that's how they'll know that you're.
Yeah, what if you have a VPN though, and you could?
Well, that's what I mean. So if you're running a VPN, and most people are, right? Well, most
Yeah.
people in the know are running VPNs, and it's gonna be a mess.
So
Gonna be a
how
mess.
crucial do you think VPNs are nowadays? Because I'm interested in getting one. I just haven't got one. I haven't got around to it yet.
I don't even know. I mean, I just get to the point where I buy into all this cybersecurity, so I just feel like I have to run a VPN.
You run it all the time, like you.
I
Constantly
do.
Have it
I mean, and it's a pain in the ass because certain sites choke on it. Like Amazon chokes on VPNs, right?
Actually.
Oh yeah. Like if I run my VPN and I can't get through to Amazon half the times. Any of the streaming services choke on it because I'm guessing like unlike Netflix, right? Disney and all these other ones, they're tracking you back down to your IP address, and I guess if you're not even in close proximity, they shut it down. So I can't stream while I'm running it. And most of the bigger VPN services will actually have a streaming service friendly site. I guess they must pass some information to
get
allow
you
them to do it or allow you to get through. But yeah, so it's problematic. But I do run it. I don't know. I just feel like I have to run it.
Yeah, it's
Like I can't tell you that I've ever been hacked or ever something stolen that is forced me to do it. It's just you kind of.
It's so crazy because now like me and my friends like we'll go back and forth with each other, and you could send a link to someone. Let's say it just says Amazon.com, right? It'll take you to Amazon, but it's a hidden link, so you could grab someone's IP address based off of the link. So like you could send it and it'll look like, hey, like check this out of this like speaker, right?
Yeah.
You click the link, it'll take you to this page of the speaker, but while that's happening, it's sending your IP address to like the initial website that you kind of masked the original link to. So little bit of advice for people, just be I guess considerate of where you're.
Yeah, I mean, and VPNs are fairly inexpensive. So, and I mean, even Apple's kind of got it built in now with private relay and stuff like that. I haven't messed with that too much. That's the other thing, right? So Apple releases private relay, and of course, it kind of like defaults on. And so when you're running private relay and a VPN, it's like double VPN, right? And it causes all kinds of problems.
And it's like anonymous.
So it's like, oh God, half the times your internet connection is like, fragged, and it's like, God damn, man, it's a pain in the ass to kind of figure out what's causing the conflict. So VPNs are there's a little bit of a learning curve, but yeah, I run it. I mean, if I'm at like Starbucks or whatever, I always feel like I need to run a VPN.
Sure, why not?
On the Wi-Fi and stuff, so.
Yeah, no, that's cool. Oh, I forgot to tell you, I linked up with Marcus. He came to PA. He's in PA. Carter, the one from Chicago.
Yeah. He's back in
PA. I linked up with him. Maybe we'll get him for a live podcast. Marcus, if you're listening, we'll get you.
So for those that don't know, Marcus is the guy who's done our theme song that you catch it a little bit at the beginning and the full thing at the end.
Yeah,
very talented guy. Plus, he's a big crypto guy. We haven't talked to him, and it'd be actually interesting to see how he's been making out with that.
Yeah, no, he's back in PA, so we'll definitely.
Because it's not been an easy ride for the crypto people.
Oh, Jesus, God. No, we're not even going to get more into it besides that because it's been a uphill battle, to say the least.
Yeah. Not a lot of NFT news.
I mean, I feel like this week's one of those weeks, man. I mean, like, personally, it's just been we're approaching finals week. Not a whole lot going on there.
Yeah, distracting.
So, like, it's just been one of those things where just kind of have to hone in and make sure everything's getting done, doing the busy work for school because teachers like to throw that in there at the end, and you know how that goes. I mean, it's just stupid. It's
almost over for you, my friend. So then you can get back to being entitled to making.
I'm trying to make 7 figures straight out of college.
You deserve it.
Thanks.
You absolutely should be getting that.
And then on top of that, I should also have a Lamborghini while I'm at it as well. And yeah.
If you find that entry-level job, can you please let me know because I would like to apply for that company.
All right. Well, we'll get that.
Oh, my God. I love it. That's too funny.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. How long have we been going along for?
I don't know, man. This one's really been cut. This is probably our worst episode. Honestly, God, I'm not going to lie.
No, it started off strong. We had the motivation, and then it's like...
we're on 53 minutes, so we can end. But, I mean, this honestly, I knew it, like, I looked down and we're like, holy shit, we're only like like 27 minutes in, and it was clear that neither one of us had anything to talk about. We could just, oh my God.
We'll call it there. I mean,
so
listen,
it happens. Come on, it happens.
So
26 episodes in, we hit the friggin' wall. This is it. This is the worst episode.
It's fine though, because listen, right? Because we had to close. This is our clothing release week, and
we're busy.
When we first started, we were like, "Yo, we should shoot for 45 minutes, right?"
Yes.
Now we're trying to
do an
top
hour
ourselves.
every time.
So yeah, so let's try to go for that 45-minute mark and just call it there, right? I don't know. I think we gotta have the people come back for more.
Yeah, maybe that's not a bad idea. Maybe we should start to scale back to 45 minutes and keep it a little tighter. Yeah. It's funny. I mean, it's funny. Like sometimes we get on and we just go for an hour talking nice and about all kinds of shit. And then there's like today where it's just like, what the hell are we talking about?
Yeah, I mean, I have a few guests lined up. It's just I genuinely I don't feel like setting it up because it's like a whole thing. Like we have to call them or if they have to come here. It's just like more of like a pain than anything. So like maybe next week we'll have a guest because I feel like we're kind of due for one.
Yeah, we can do that.
We have to get Carol back on here.
Yeah, good luck with that. I don't know. So we really, that's one of the things we should do.
Oh, with the tiger, tiger shirts.
Yeah. We kind of made that promise and we never really followed up on it. But one of the things we might do is
donate money to her tiger research.
Yeah, so we might do a collab shirt. Not really a collab shirt, but you had a design from years back with a tiger and some bamboo that was pretty slick, and we might like do a version 2 of that on a t-shirt and then just cut some money back. It'll be a couple bucks, but I mean, we should do our part because we did I don't want to say we committed to it, but we did talk about that with her. So
only if you reminded me 20 minutes earlier about this. I feel like for our brand and making it kind of stick with more people and kind of having a brand message, we're trying to have more of a message behind our brand. So rather than just like kind of only doing it in October, we would like to kind of give more back to these things, like exactly like what Joe said, give more to the tiger research or something like that. And that's kind of like what is that stick factor to a brand, like what brings people in. That's exactly it. If you are showing that you guys are, obviously empathetic and ethical, then people are going to stick with you regardless of that road. I know it's sorry to kind of tie that back into the earlier message, but then you reminded me of it, so I had to kind of bring it up again.
Yeah. So we need to dive more into that.
That's definitely a thing.
Yeah, I mean, we definitely want to continue with the breast cancer thing. That's just sort of a staple, and we want to make sure we continue to do that, right? Serious cause, and then do stuff throughout the year, right? Yeah. So we actually have a whole page on our website for charity
stuff. Yeah. So if anyone
is running a kind of a foundational thing that we talked about doing. So
yeah, if anyone runs a charity, involved in a charity or anything like that, or food drive or something like that, we'd be more than happy to figure out a way that we could help out. Maybe run, kick back some of the profits or something. We'll definitely do it.
Yep.
Definitely dope.
Reach out. Team at EXMNDS. Also, if you are interested in stickers or magnets for the podcast or the clothing line, send us an email and we might be able to drop something in the mail for you. All
right.
Friday, we'll have the drop out for the hoodies, and then shortly after, we'll have gym shorts and tees. And Yep. So let's get the hell off because this is starting to just get kind of crazy. So.
Hey, man, it was a good one.
Peace out. 26. We'll come back with 27. Hopefully, we'll have
I guess
a refreshed vibe.
Yeah, no, for sure.
And a better content. So thanks, hanging in there, and subscribe, even if you don't like this particular episode. The other 25 are awesome.
Yeah.
Try episode 19. I don't even know. 19 was awesome. That was a good episode.
That was good. Oh my God, I can't believe we talked about that one time.
All right, so we're going to turn it over to Marcus and take us out with our theme song. Later.
Yeah. Let me drop exclusive game from my exclusive mind. You be out here chasing fame, I stay steady on my grind. 0 diamonds, 0 chains, from my brain is where I shine. Hit you with them good lyrics, I ain't writing and I'm dying. And right now I'm alive, so check it. I reckon I shouldn't cuss on this record. I don't cuss on them often because I'm applying pressure. Grab that fire grind. 0 diamonds, 0 chains, from my brain is where I shine. Hit you with them good lyrics, I ain't writing and I'm dying. And right now I'm alive, so check it. I reckon I shouldn't cuss on this record. I don't cuss on them often because I'm applying pressure. Grab that fire for my dresser. the EXM who does it better. No, I won't let up. Gas pedal fully pressed, I do the dash to the checks. If it ain't assets, I'm never stressed. I keep it calm and collect. Most of y'all stuck in some debt, and you got bad credit. I learned my lesson, I was young and foolish, now I'm better. I kept my head up through the stormiest weather. Wipe my eyes and focused on where I'm headed. We call that constant progression. If we in Vegas and the option is betting on me, you know we cashing out to the teller. Now let me switch my endeavor, change up my whole approach. Let's have a toast to those who do the most. Achieving goals on the road to their dreams, on the path to the cream, counting stacks with their team, living lavishly, but still actively aware that they can be a casualty, so they don't lack humility and they don't dabble with the greed. Yes, they focused on the plan ahead. They know impact will lead to bread, and the bread equals success and less frets. Got some things to accomplish. When someone hits my line, it's not about some nonsense. We making moves, always grinding, we popping. You know we not gonna stop, and never no option but time, and the perfect time is right now. Not caught up in tomorrow. I'm all about making a conscious decision while I'm living. Make a choice, then I'm committed to that vision. I pivot if necessary. It's scary when you get caught in a position that isn't hitting you down bad because you're persistent in the wrong direction. Just learn your lesson, you gotta check it. Audit you and keep on getting better. That's the motive, that's the method, and I'm headed further than I ever thought I could make it. I wouldn't stop unless my pulse flat lines like the doctor lost his patience.